Hello, welcome class to something a little different than my usual tonight. Instead of playing Doom or recording some music, tonight we are going to be playing some spooky NES games. As close to horror as the NES got, really. Including a game that I probably shouldn't have had as a child, Monster Party, which is a deeply weird game. I don't know how it got past Nintendo's quality or content guideline standards back in the day, because within minutes the whole screen is drenched in blood and there's skeletons and all manner of frightful things everywhere. As a game, it's not particularly good, and I've never beaten it, so I will do my best. Also, good to see you, Tane. Good to see you, Regular Expression, Based Bug. Welcome. So I think in order to, properly play spooky games, it's worth mentioning that I am playing off of real hardware. So I've got next to me here my childhood NES, which really was my older brother's, but I grew up with it, same as him, that I think we probably got in 1987 or so. And the games I've got queued up for tonight, we're playing all original hardware here, are Monster Party, which was published by Bandai, Fester's Quest by Sunsoft, and the immortal Castlevania 3 by Konami. Of those three games, the only one I've ever actually beaten is Castlevania 3, which is a hard game, granted, but I think compared to the other two, it's eminently more beatable. So now, to fit the aesthetic. Okay, thank you, Woozle. Before we get started, Gray Matter, let me see if I have a track. We are going to do a little bit of spooky Oingo Boingo karaoke. Let me... Okay, we do have a track. It's very long, so I'll probably do half of it. I think we have a nearly full minute intro. That's okay, because this song is great. Also going to update my counter in the top left-hand corner. It's not going to be for deaths, as it usually is in the gaming stream. It's the cold one counter, because it's a Friday night. And I am going to do something I obviously didn't do as a kid, which is play Nintendo and drink beer. Got Oingo Boingo rule. They say you're stupid, that you're too young to vote. They say you'll swallow anything that they shove down your throat. They say that you can't think, that you haven't got a brain, that you're just there to listen, that you're just being trained. There's something inside your head. Whoops, I'm peeking a lot. There's something inside your head. Whoops. There's something inside your head. You lost the ability to even think, that your tiny little brain slipped down the kitchen sink. They say that you'll buy anything that they turn your way, that you'll listen to everything that they decide to play. There's something inside your head. 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 Gray matter, whoa. Gray matter, whoa. Gray matter, oh. Gray matter, whoa. Did any other rock or new wave band feature marimba quite as heavily as Oingo Boingo? I don't think so. In this case, just makes me think of someone like playing a solo on a skeleton's ribs or something. Marimbas are super fun to play, class, if you've never tooled around on one before. I think you like it to be told what to do. Ain't that true? I forgot how that part of the song went. Whoops. I think you're better off stone cold dead without your head. They say you're stupid, that you're too young to vote. They say you'll swallow anything that they shove down your throat. If they say lie down, if they say buy it now, if they say turn around, if they say hit the ground. I don't know this part of the song at all. Inside your head, there's something inside your head. There's something inside your head. There's something inside your head. Gray matter, whoa. Gray matter, whoa. Gray matter, whoa. Gray matter, oh. We haul out the TV and get ready. Hey, welcome, Arippy. Good to see you. Before we got started with our retro spooky games, Woozle requested some quick Oingo Boingo karaoke. But now the song's just in a long outro, so we're gonna fade that out. Thank you for that, Woozle. And now let's make sure that that the NES is working. Forgot I resized my my capture window. Give me a moment here. Gotta make sure our picture is properly lined up. This is authentic hardware. I am indeed occasionally a gamer. Let me... Well, so you know how I said it's authentic hardware. Give me just a second. You can get a NES finagling ASMR. I know you're not technically supposed to blow on the cartridges, but it really, really doesn't matter. There we go. All right, let me just make sure that our picture is centered as much as it can be. No, it's not a meme at all, Tane. Really, the best way to clean them, if you have a cartridge that's non-responsive, is to open the cartridge itself up, take the board out, and rubbing alcohol works well, but even better, it's like a pencil eraser on the contact, takes away any grime, dust, or oxidation, and there's never been a cartridge I couldn't resurrect. But yes, we are on real hardware. While I was testing things out for the stream, I realized none of my NES controllers are very good. The best one, the down arrow on the D-pad, is not very responsive. So this should be a fun time. I would use my NES Advantage joystick, but the A button tends to get stuck. I had it apart this afternoon and was cleaning it out, but it wasn't enough to make it worth using over the regular controller. But why don't we get started with Monster Party, which even from the title screen is very gruesome by NES standards. So let's see, what kind of bizarre story might this game have? Am I going to speedrun this? Absolutely not. Yeah, I liked the NES Advantage Tane specifically for playing Star Soldier, to shoot faster. So here's our story. Mark was walking home from a ball game. He looked up and saw a bright star. While he stared at it, the star got bigger and bigger. The beauty of the star made his eyes moist, so he didn't notice that the star fell and landed right in front of him. This is not a very observant child. It wasn't a star, but a monster. Mark quickly asked, "Who are you?" You know, fair question. I think instead of asking that, though, I would probably run away. You know, I'm assuming Mark is about 10 years old, and I don't think I was that brave at 10. I'm Bert. What's up? Just, what's up? I'm looking for help. Evil monsters are out of control in my world. Come and help me. I'm afraid to fight the evil monsters. Reasonable. You know, I think Mark's got his head on straight here. Don't worry. With your weapon, you'll be able to destroy them easily. Now, Bert just showed up, crashed to Earth, and grabbed the first child with a baseball bat he saw. Imagine if he had taken back, like, I don't know, a soldier with a gun? The game would go a lot different. This isn't a weapon, it's a bat. Batter. Anything is okay. Anyhow, let's go. Bert grabbed Mark's hand and flew away. What's your name? Mark. Mark, my planet is dangerous. He's just stolen this child. So, we must act together. How? Like this. Then they fuse together. This is how Mark's adventure began. Round 1 start. Look at that. Screen-drenched skeletons standing in a pool of blood dripping down from the ceiling. And the game is only going to get weirder from here. For enemies, we've got... Oh, hold on. I want to... can just kind of slug out on the ground, which is very funny to me. You've got these, you know, Bancho-looking bad guys. You have almost no invulnerability frames. Oh, and I think it just crashed. It did just crash. Okay, let's get right into it. So you've got your baseball bat. Oh, was I ever scared by this game-based bug? Like you wouldn't believe. Because for as weird as this is right here, it's about to get a lot weirder. Look, we've got legs just coming up from the ground. You go into these doors and fight bosses. And you've got this one, which I didn't know as a kid, was clearly, you know, Little Shop of Horrors. You're like, feed me, Seymour, feed me all night long. You know, that's clearly, you know, Audrey 2. Hello, baby. And you've got to reflect its project... Oh, hold on. I'm gonna take the cartridge out and clean it a bit more. Give me 1 sec. I've got some solution and Q-tips on hand for this very reason. I should have taken the cartridges apart and cleaned them before the stream, but that's okay. Give us just a second. You're getting the authentic, 30-plus-year-old hardware and game experience here. Really, I should go ahead and do a 72-pin replacement on my NES. I've done it to dozens of others, but never to my own. It hadn't needed it. But it's been a while since I've hooked it up. Alright, let's get back to that first boss. There you go. Your bat can reflect projectiles. But I think it's best to probably just go absolutely ham on this boss instead of trying to play the reflect everything game. And to just eat the damage if you can. Oh, God. This keeps crashing. I don't know if it's the cartridge or my NES. I hope it's the cartridge. Technical difficulties. My apologies, class. Oh, you're back in time for, Oh, stream went Kuso on your end. Well, the NES is going Kuso on my end, so you didn't miss much. We've had multiple cartridge-blowing ASMR, unironically. So you've got these weird, I didn't know it at the time, like Japanese delinquent high school kids. You've got weird legs coming up out of the ground. Most of the bosses in this game draw inspiration from popular horror movies. So this is clearly, Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. I'm just going to try to get in there and mash it to death instead of trying to methodically reflect all its projectiles because it's... Yeah. Feed me Seymour. Oh. Ooh. Well, in my musicals karaoke, I did sing Suddenly Seymour. I pre-recorded Seymour's part and sang Audrey's part. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside me. So weird as this is so far, it gets a lot stranger. You can pick up, Hey, Teddy Deadrat, you love Monster Party? I have never met anybody who loves this game. I mean, I have a great fondness for it, because I grew up with this game. But it's very weird, and I've never beaten it, and frankly, I don't understand how it works very well at all. Okay, so once we cross a threshold that's coming up soon, the entire game world transforms into this, nightmare hellscape. But first, we gotta do a little platforming. Not difficult. Though the controls in this game are a bit strange. You can fast fall, but the down... Yeah, like that. Oh, Teddy, don't worry. I also played this game when it was new. I'm in fact playing on my childhood NES. And I realized I should have gotten replacement controllers because mine are quite stiff. I do love just how unabashedly weird this game is. Sorry, I'm dead. What? Also, this more than anything as a kid was one of the images that really, really freaked me out. Because it's just like this big decaying crab carapace. It's like, what? Why am I playing this? What's going on? Why did Nintendo... Oh yeah, Sorry, I'm Dead. Sorry, I'm Dead between my brother and I was right up there with I Am Error from Zelda 2, except I Am Error was funny, and Sorry, I'm Dead is weirdly upsetting. Oh good, some health. Okay, so prepare yourselves mentally, class, for what happens when I cross the threshold here of this, cactuar-looking tree. The world turns into an abject nightmare. Bloody skulls everywhere. The music changes. There's heads in the background. Like, yeah, what a horrible night to have a curse. I do have all three NES Castlevanias. Those weird dogs with human heads. Which is some persuasion of yokai. I don't remember what they're called. But, you know, it's like, how did Nintendo of America give this the thumbs up? Like, yeah, we're cool with this. Did they not play past, like, the first 30 seconds? Because this is absolutely bizarre. Okay, there we go. Please don't pick on me. And then a boss begging you not to hurt it. Also, the game is just incredibly janky. Gotta just absolutely mash. Got it. But I'm getting very low on health. And the regular enemies are not trivial. The message is humanity is the real monster. Okay, Hideo Kojima. Yeah, exactly, Teddy. Like, I can't think of any other 8-bit game like this. Even, you know, ones we didn't get here in the US, like Sweet Home. You know, Sweet Home is a horror game. It was a licensed game based on a movie of the same name. Oh, I'm dead. Game over. Continue. Round 1 start. Oh boy. This is not going to be easy. Yeah, Sweet Home the game is great. I've never watched the movie. But, you know, I can't think of any other Western released NES game quite this weird. Oh, I forgot that there's, like, a hidden platform back here. This is unlocking, like, 30-year-old memories. Hold on. Oh, I probably do still have reverb on from when I did the karaoke. How embarrassing. There we go. Thank you, Woozle. Have any of you watched the film Sweet Home? So I'd be very curious to know if it's good. No, it was not intentional, alas. Also, good to see you, Atlas Foes. How was it, Regular Expression? Is it serious, campy, somewhere in between? Okay. Just kind of your standard nothing fancy horror movie. I'm trying to remember how you transform into Bert, or if you need an item. Oh god. There being no, like, knockback or invincibility frames makes this really hard. Campy, maybe not on purpose. Okay. Oh god, I forgot enemies respawn when you leave the room. Hey, good to see you, Culture Shocker. Yeah, I'm playing not just NES games on stream, but on my actual childhood NES. So this is a real hardware stream. My capture device is very low quality, which is why the picture quality is so poor. That's not a filter or an effect that I have applied to make it look, you know, authentic. That's just a genuine low-quality capture card, unintentionally adding to the aesthetic. Well, let's move forward a bit, try to gather some more health before we go fight the Pumpkinhead. Good to see you, Super Upsetty. Yes, we do. Going back through childhood memories of scary games. I still don't understand how, specifically this, it's in the first level. You see this within like 5 minutes of playing the game. How are they like, yeah, this is fine. We have no objection to this in our family-friendly system. Yeah, right? The game, oh, I was too late to pick up that. I think that's what lets me transform into Bert, and then I could have just gone and destroyed the boss. Yeah, exactly, Teddy. This game doesn't explain anything to you. I don't have the manual, unfortunately. Oh yeah, the Nintendo seal of quality really only meant that the game was unlikely to crash in like an unfixable manner. That was really just a reaction to like the complete lack of any semblance of quality control in the Atari era in the West. And as a reaction to, I mean, the Famicom had plenty of very low quality software. Not as much as, you know, the Atari era, but it had its fair share of, you know, blatant shovelware. Oh, I forgot there's, you know, skeletal hands coming out of the, Okay. So while I'm, Bert, you can fly and have a projectile attack. So let's go see if we can take out the Pumpkinhead really quickly. LJN. I had some LJN games as a kid, and honestly, they're not the worst. They're not good. Like, they're not good at all. But they're not the worst games on the system. Let's see. Oh, nope, I'm dead. Yeah, Friday the 13th was okay. Discord alert? I think that was probably just, something in the game. Alright, this is gonna be... Can I beat the first level? I figure since I've got 3 games, I'll give each of them at least 2 hours. Oh, that was your Discord. 4-player Nightmare on Elm Street. That is fun. Let's see, the LJN X-Men game was a bitter disappointment as a kid. Because, you know, in the early 90s, the Uncanny X-Men were... I mean, that was the comic to read, and the TV show was fantastic. I've actually gone back as an adult to watch that, Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, regular expression. But the 90s X-Men show was really, really good. And I've since gone back and watched it as an adult, and I'm happy to say that it does, in fact, hold up. It's a good show. And it dealt with some pretty serious themes for, you know, a kid's show at the time. You know, I mean, the X-Men were always, you know, a vehicle for social commentary, and that's part of what's given it such staying power as a series. Yeah, right? It's a genuinely good show. I mean, even the animation quality was pretty good, which was not a given in those days. I'm trying to think, you know, of the, you know, Saturday morning cartoons of that era. You know, a few were what I would consider classics. You know, like, looking back, things like Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures. Tiny Toon Adventures, that had some great games for it, too. Both on the NES and, Genesis. Sorry I'm dead. Absolutely wild. There we go. Does anyone else remember a TV show? It was like a pirate adventure show called Pirates of Dark Waters. I used to be obsessed with that show. Oh, Buster Bust Loose. Excellent game. Pirates of Dark Waters. Thank you, regular expression. So few people I've talked to know what I'm talking about when I reference that show. And in truth, I remember very little specifically about it, but I just remember it seeming like the coolest show in the world. Whether it was or not, I can't say for sure. But that was a special feeling show. Oh yeah, we entered spooky mode super upsetty. Not just spooky, but weird. Alright, I think I've got enough... Yeah, the game was alright. It was like a platformer beat-em-up on Genesis. That could be a fun, Ooh, that could be a really fun stream idea. Saturday morning cartoons and the games based on them. There we go. Okay, I've got the key. Yeah, right? There's no explanation. Like, you need to beat the 3 bosses in a level to get the key to move on. Oh, God. The lack of any kind of knockback makes combat in this game so dangerous to you, like the player. Oh, I'm toast. It doesn't help that, trying to hit the down arrow on my D-pad is like 50-50. Oh, there we go. Right? In Castlevania, the knockback's extremely dangerous to you. But you can count on it. You know there's going to be knockback. Let's see if I can't farm some health from the enemies. The other thing is, you need to time hitting things with your bat just right, because it won't always be the same trajectory. Oh, the kid's worm crawl is fantastic. Hold on. There we go. There we go, we're crawling. Yeah, it's a bat. Baseball bat with a very dinky reach. Now, I know a lot of people who are, big into games sometimes look dismissively or derisively at sports games, but I loved a lot of sport video games in the 8-bit and 16-bit era. Like, on NES, I know everybody talks about, Baseball Stars and RBI Baseball, but I always liked Tecmo Baseball in particular. I don't know if any of you have played that. I mean, it's an exceedingly average game, if I'm being honest. But, when it's the baseball game you have, and, it's a two-player game, so you can play it with your brother, that makes it a great game in its own right. Is this one empty, or is this where Sorry I'm Dead is? That's empty. The little musical sting in Tecmo Baseball when you hit a home run goes something like, da 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 da. And, obviously that's been burned into my brain for 30 years now. My brother and I, to this day, will use that jingle to taunt one another about things. Like, in a summer, if we're playing, like wiffle ball at a family get-together, and one of us cranks a home run, we will just, hum that jingle to one another, and it's instant rage in either of us. I think that's part of what makes... Oh, Nintendo World Cup, yes! That's a great game. Super Volleyball as well was a Kunio-kun game. Yeah, Rip T-Rex, you would have been an awesome boss. Yeah, all the Kunio-kun games... Hey, Xavier, good to see you. We are playing some Monster Party, a decidedly spooky NES game with visuals that I don't know how they got past the censorious types at Nintendo back in the day. Not just Nintendo of America, just Nintendo. You've got this bizarre jack-o'-lantern head boss. This is not an easy game. Right, regular expression? I know, very recently there was a Kunio-kun collection released on Switch and PS4 that I picked up, and it's got both the North America version and Japanese version of all those Kunio-kun sports games, but they also translated all the ones we never got. And they've got an option to play either in the original format, so, slow down and flicker included, or to play it with, the same graphics, but no more slowdown, no more sprite flicker. Really, Oh, okay. Yeah, there was an Asia English release for that. I love that that's a thing these days. Probably like a full quarter of my Switch collection these days are, games that got digital-only releases in North America, but physical in, Asia, and specifically in like Malaysia and Hong Kong and regions where it's expected to have an English version. on the cartridge. All right, we finally cleared the first level after 35 minutes or so. Okay, hold on. I'm going to write down the passwords. I've got a notebook and a pencil here. Just like I would have back in the day. All right. There we go. Yes, big dubs. Well, let's see how far we can get. I don't even know how many levels there are. Yeah, we are moving towards digital, and oh, it's a sewer level. Oh, you bump your head on the ceiling. I remember now. There we go. You've got fish people. Fish people are very weird looking. More funny than scary, but you know, when you're a kid, you're like, that's kind of weird. I don't know that I like that. Reverse mermaids, right? Is this what, what's his name? The director of, The Witch and The Lighthouse, Robert Egger. Is this what he watched as a kid? Or is this what he played? Oh, I forgot. Monster Rancher. Let's mix it up. We've got a Medusa here, who's all snake. Don't remember the pattern for this boss. I think it might just be timing. Oh, but you have to hit in the head. For a lot of these, the best strategy seems to be just get in the face of the boss and try to reflect any projectiles and damage boost through anything else. All right. I actually feel really good about how that fight went. There we go. Okay, I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would. I'm getting into the swing of it now. Yes, not just any snake projectile, but Tsuchinoko's. Good point. There we go. I also have to say, there is a tiny bit of input lag introduced by the capture device, and I keep meaning to look at the capture window and not OBS, but I keep looking at OBS because I want to be able to see what all of you are saying. But maybe I should, as we get towards more challenging levels in this game. Actually, I don't even know if the later levels are more challenging. I don't have a great memory of them. Oh, Baroque was such a cool game. Baroque, I remember I played that not on, I played that on the Wii, I believe. Came out on Wii and PS2 here. And I remember being fascinated by it and really enjoying it. Yeah, Super Upsetty, that's a good idea. I mean, if I was to get fancy, I would do, you know, like an OSSC or whatever, OCSS, whatever that, you know, line doubler is. But honestly, when I play my older systems, I'm never playing them on a newer TV. I have, you know, a huge CRT in my basement for that reason. You know, it's a, I think, 27-inch JVC iArt, and it does a component in up to 1080i. It's a fantastic CRT from the early 2000s. And, you know, if I'm hooking up anything like PS2, oh, who can tell me what movie this boss is referencing? Classic body horror remake, actually, not an original film. Hold on, I'm going to no, Woozle, it's not They Live. But They Live is a great movie. Yes, ding ding ding, Teddy Deadrat's got it. Telepods from The Fly, which was a remake. You know, not an original film. The 1950s The Fly, what a Fried Shrimp is doing with them, I have no idea. I think they were just looking for some kind of funny idea. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, the 1950s The Fly. Actually pretty spooky still. You know, not the you know, the Fry. Look out, baby. Let's see. Here I come. Instead of Brundlefly, we've got Brundle Fry. Is that bad? Is that bad to say? Oh god, this is going to be impossible now. Oh, now it's an onion ring. Name another game where you can see this, class, where you can fight a giant onion ring. I can't think of one. Fantastic pun. This game's also very, very unforgiving. You mess up, fuck you, kid, back to the start of the stage. You don't know where you're going in the level? Well, that's too bad, isn't it? Yeah, Burger Time, I think the only bosses, if you can even call them that, are just the... What are they, the, like, salt and pepper that are patrolling? Burger Time's a fun game. That's one that got a modern remake not too long ago. Burger Time Order Up or something. I think it was like $20 brand new, but it got a physical release, so I bought it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's Burger Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think Burger Time was Data East, right? Great company. Always making kind of very cool, somewhat off-kilter games. Yeah, Data East. Earlier, Tane was playing Night Slashers, which is super, super radical beat-em-up by Data East. With, like, the goriest, gnarliest, like, enemy death effects of pretty much any 90s arcade game. You know, forget Mortal Kombat. This is amazing sprite art, gore, you know, not digitized, goofy-looking spines. I still like Mortal Kombat, obviously, but... Alright, we're doing okay so far. Gotta learn the levels, though. I don't actually know what doors I need to go into. Because even though I've had this game for 30 years now, maybe a little more, I've never beaten it. I don't know where to go. If you got a goofy-looking spine, you got a goofy-looking spine. Mine's probably pretty goofy-looking. It's, not scoliosis, but mine curves slightly inward. That's why I gotta keep it stretched. That's why I'm a big advocate of doing your stretches, going on walks. Veins and arteries in the walls, right? Like, this game nails grotesque. Exactly, lots of very cool little details. I remember there being a beta version of this that was leaked within the past couple years, showing that a lot of the game's assets used to look quite a lot different. But I think there were some... Hey, Marikaren, hello. You have joined as we are playing Monster Party on the NES, which is a very grotesque game considering it's NES. We're also playing on real hardware, and I'm remembering now how stiff the NES controller is. Doesn't help that mine... I mean, I cleaned them this afternoon, but they are over 30 years old. They're probably not as responsive as I remember them being. Oh, I've transformed back into Mark from Bert. Now I'm just a scared child with a baseball bat. Okay, and now we're back in The Fly. Zex's, I think, might be a better game. Monster Party wins on pure style, for sure. There are a bunch of NES games that had big ambitions like that, though. Like, Bruderbund's Guardian Legend was one I remember being very ambitious. And mostly working. Oh. God. I think I'm gonna have to come back to this room when I have more health or am Bert and can fly over top. Yes. I mean, a lot of NES games have excellent soundtracks. I mean, anything by Sunsoft is almost guaranteed to have great music. I'm particularly a huge fan... Oh god, I love how gruesome this game over screen is. No, thank you for stopping by. Right, Teddy? Also, let's just enjoy this happy, jaunty tune as we look at a lake of blood filled with skeletons. Like, how did this get past Nintendo back in the day? I mean, I'm glad it did, because this game is... You know, I'm not going to call it a hidden gem, because I don't think it's a gem, honestly. But it's a game I would recommend to anybody, just on strength of how weird it is. The next game I have queued up is one that people argue about, whether it's, you know, one of the worst games on the system, or just a misunderstood classic with a few flaws. I'm speaking, of course, of the black sheep of Sunsoft's NES output, Fester's Quest, which was another game I had as a kid that I've never beaten, because I would get so horrendously frustrated with it, and getting lost in the maze-like 3D house stages was always more frustrating than fun. Fester's Quest? Yeah, I mean, I always loved, you know, the music. I liked the, you know, Addams Family aesthetic. And that game really was very lucky timing, because that was before, you know, the Addams Family got kind of its 90s resurgence. I think it came out in '89, when, you know, at that point, Addams Family had been off TV for over 20 years. Yes, fun but baffling, I think, is a very fair assessment. It definitely was rushed to meet a US holiday deadline. I think Tane was saying that the European version may have had a lot of those flaws fixed, kind of by virtue of coming out later. So I'd be very curious to play that version and see what's different. But I don't have a European NES. I have my original gray toaster. And I mean, it could be fun to have like a Euro versus US night, spot the difference kind of thing. There we go. I'm gonna leave that room alone for now, which is where I think the telepod was. Or you know what? Now that I'm Bert, let me see if I can go handle it. One thing I don't like... Oh, shots going through walls. That is a big game changer, because you can get completely stuck in the sewers in Fester's Quest if you don't have the right weapon. You can be completely unable to hit things. Oh, that was the wrong door. Yeah, right? Here, watch this show, it's cool. I don't think we got the game until after, the Addams Family, you know, had its revival with the movie. Because that one, I mean, almost all the games I got as a kid were used. Because, you know, we couldn't really afford that many new games. You know, we'd get new games, you know, at Christmas. That makes me think of another NES game that, well, not necessarily inappropriate for children, was one that I got for Christmas, I think in 92 or 93, called The Immortal, which is an isometric perspective adventure game, ruthlessly difficult, and filled with tons and tons of highly detailed death animations. It's not as gory as the Genesis version of the game. I think the NES one plays a little better, though. But that's a very difficult game. That, you know, getting it for Christmas, it was like, okay, this is cool. But I think we also got Zelda 2 that year, and it was like, okay, Zelda 2 is the one I'm going to be playing, not, whatever this is. Oh. Okay, let's see if I can just get behind it and absolutely wail the hell out of this onion ring. That's what I need to do. Just get down. Oh. This is where I feel like... Exactly. I feel like anyone hating on Zelda 2 is secondhand opinion. Because Zelda 2, 1, is not even that, you know, strange or confusing a game by the standards of the time. You know, it was a lot easier to navigate than something like, you know, Phazanadu, which is another game I like a lot, or, you know, Battle of Olympus. But Zelda 2 introduced so many things that are still series, you know, mainstays to this day. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, the first one is still my personal favorite game of all time. You know, for me, nothing will bring me the same feelings that the original Legend of Zelda did. You know, that's a one-of-a-kind gaming experience. You know, often imitated, and usually quite poorly, I think. You know, with people not understanding that sense of wonder, and, you know, of, wait, can this really happen? Can I do this? That you get from the first Zelda, or just wondering, what's on the next screen? You know, in your mind, you were thinking, you know, what's over that next horizon? You know, what else is there to discover in this amazing world? That, I think, was the great success of Breath of the Wild, was that it managed to capture that feeling. You know, it managed to spark that emotion in the player of just desperately wanting to see, you know, okay, what's over that next horizon? And I think that makes, you know, a lot of sense. When the Switch came out, you know, I bought one... Oh, can I not pick this one up? But, you know, I bought a Switch on release because, you know, it's the new Nintendo system, and I would like to have the new Nintendo system. I bought Breath of the Wild because I'd been looking forward to it since, you know, the Wii U version was teased. And, I was playing it and I was immediately sucked in. I think that weekend, the weekend of the Switch coming out, I went over to see my parents. I, you know, when I can, well, pre-COVID, I would go to see them every Sunday, you know, have dinner, catch up. And I brought the Switch because my father's always, you know, maintained an interest in video games. I mean, he's been playing games since before I was born. You know, he was a long-time arcade and computer guy. I mean, he still is. He's big into VR gaming these days. But I showed him Breath of the Wild. I handed him my Switch. Yes, exactly, Karen. You forget what you're doing because you're like, you just want to know. You want to know what's next. But I handed him the Switch, and he was completely enthralled. Now, he hasn't played console games pretty much since the N64. You know, he's been mostly a PC guy and not playing, you know, big 3D action-adventure games. That was never his style. But I showed him Breath of the Wild, and he was, you know, practically hypnotized by it. And, you know, when he handed it back, he was like, so how much is one of these? Referencing the Switch. And by the time I went to see him a week from then, he had bought himself a Switch in Breath of the Wild. He ended up putting over 500 hours into the game. And he hadn't played a Zelda since the original Nintendo. He was just completely sucked in. And I found out that when Nintendo was prototyping Breath of the Wild, yeah, my dad is pretty cool. I feel thankful for that. I mean, these days he's big into VR gaming, so he and I, you know, talk about what we've been playing in VR, and that's a lot of fun, actually. I'm trying to convince him to upgrade his computer so he can play Half-Life Alyx. But when Nintendo was prototyping Breath of the Wild, they had a top-down 8-bit style version of the game because their internal kind of mandate to themselves was that you should be able to do anything you can do in Breath of the Wild in a top-down, like, original NES Zelda game. That was their guiding design philosophy, was going back to the original Nintendo Zelda. And I think it really shows... Can I farm health from this guy? Because if I can, I'm absolutely going to do that. But I think going back to... Oh, I can farm health. Okay, class, settle in. We're gonna cheese this game. But I think going back to that, NES design philosophy is part of what made Breath of the Wild so good. It's what captured that, feeling of magic. Of wondering what's possible in this game world. Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows victory tastes cheesy. Look, this game's hard. I'm not too proud to ruthlessly exploit its own mechanics. Plus, it starts you with like a quarter of a life bar. That's some crap. I don't want to deal with that. Now, this is the kind of game where, they'd print the 1-900 number in the manual to bait children into calling for help, tips, and tricks, not knowing they were racking up, a minute or $1 a minute or more phone bill. I don't think you carry health over stages, Tane, but I think I will need as much health as I can get to clear this one. Okay, he's done dropping health, but still, that's more health than we start with, so that's pretty good. Gotta wait for the skater to throw his projectile and hit it early. There we go. Next time I find an enemy that drops, yeah, the dev mob. I mean, cheat codes in games basically started as a way for developers to, be able to test later levels in the game without having to play through all of it, or just wanting to be able to power through. That's what the Konami code was for. Specifically for, Gradius first, I believe. Though it was popularized to the public by Contra. Okay, we're in pretty good shape. That room is empty. Starting to... No, maybe I should start sketching out the levels on the notebook in front of me to keep track of where I should go. But this isn't so complicated. I think I can handle it. Oh, my thumb is getting sore on my left hand already. I'm pressing the D-pad way too hard, but I kind of need to hit some directions. Okay, we're back to Bert, so let's rush over to the boss. I say boss, there's really like 2 or 3 enemies like that per level that you've gotta fight. Though I've also got the strategy down for clearing that as Bert, which is just duck and then get on their back as quickly as you can. Okay, so let's get behind him and then spam projectiles as fast as we can. Ah, didn't last as long as I would have hoped. Okay, but that's fine. Part of this is, I don't know if it's that my reaction times are slow, or if it's just the, lag introduced by a capture situation, or if this is just difficult. I think it might just be difficult. There we go, that was a good round. I wonder what the speedruns for this game look like. They must be wild. I have a lot of respect for anybody in the speedrunning community. It takes such dedication. that I I do not have. Whoops. Okay. High intensity fried food fight. Yeah, mouth-wateringly terrifying. Also, good to see Oedipus Reps. We were trying to figure out, you know, all the bosses in this game seem to be, you know, some kind of horror movie pun or reference, and this is clearly The Fly, but it's all fried food, so we're wondering, was the pun The Fry? It being a Japanese game and all. And I think that must be it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a good one. Oh god, my thumb hurts. This controller is not very good. Gonna need to talk to some of my collector friends and see if any have spare NES controllers I can buy from them. Now I wonder why, when I kill this boss, I seem to be... Just gotta pause for a sec. Why I seem to be unable to pick up that, question mark. Very strange. Oh. Well, I guess nothing to do but leave the room, though. So that's two of the boss-type enemies of this level down. So I think we just have to keep going through this, you know, maze of sewers until we find the next one. And then there should be a door with a key we can operate once we have all of the parts of the key. Which I think requires beating those 3 boss-type enemies. Now, if I find another enemy that drops health, I am going to shamelessly farm it like I did earlier in the level. But I've not seen one yet. Let's hope this reverse mermaid has some. Nope. Look at those skulls buried in the dirt, though. Very, very cool visual details all throughout this game. Nope, no health. They probably leave like 1 enemy you can farm health from per level as a kindness, as a mercy. Okay, let me... Oh. Your timing has to be dead on to reflect the projectile at the right angle. Not who I wanted to kill. Come on. There we go. Huh. Not what I was hoping. Okay, that room's empty. That wasn't useful. Not sure what those question marks do. Would help if I had the manual for this probably, but don't think I ever had the manual for this one. Yeah, that's how I can tell what games I got new as a kid and what games I got used, is whether I have the manual for them. Because if it was a game we got new, we definitely, you know, kept the manual, and for a lot of them, the box. But if it was a game that we bought used from, you know, Funkoland or somewhere, it almost never came with that. Okay, this turns me back into Bert. So we can... Okay, we can go up and around to that, hopefully last boss room, and deliver him some swift ass-kicking. Time to do some damage. Look at that. You've got, like, a haunted well with a... Yeah. This was not... You know, it wasn't common always to have the manual for a game back then. Time to do some damage. So we've got a well spitting what look like coins at us. A little hard to tell, but we beat it pretty quickly. Haunted, you know, Shinto shrine. But now we've beaten enough enemies to have the key for the level. So that means we just need to find the big scary door, and then we can go. And that will be on to the next level. Gotta be really quick with the timing on this. You need just the tip of the bat to connect. Ugh. I mean, I could just go up and wail on that thing with the bat, but it's just one reflected projectile kills it, and that's a lot easier. Oh, come on. No, screw that. We're going aggro. Don't have the patience. Don't want to risk taking damage I don't need to. Especially when I'm this close to the end of the level. I do still have the manual for a lot of the games I had as a kid. Like, I know I have the manual for the original Zelda, and I remember that one had a giant map that folded out, but it was incomplete, with the idea being that you would, like, fill it in with your own... There we go! Out of the level. Okay, hold on, gotta write down the password. SBG R2U V9N. Got it. Yeah, but the original Zelda had this great big fold-out map, with the idea being that you would, you know, fill it in yourself as you go. So I remember my dad took it to work and made a huge Xerox of it on graph paper, so that as we played through the original Zelda, we were filling in the map, you know, screen by screen on this giant fold-out of graph paper. And there's, you know, I'm gonna be a boomer for a sec. You don't get that in today's games. Which is maybe why the Etrian Odyssey series was so satisfying for me on the DS, drawing your own maps like that. Alright, we've got some falling stalactites, creepy cave level. Whoop. Oh my god. I can't believe they killed Bonk. Oh, this is a gross room. Right? Etrian Odyssey, I will do anything for more. These enemies are creepy. What is that guy even supposed to be? Look at the size of the skull. Absolute unit. Does he... I'm getting spooked. Oh god. It's so hard to avoid taking damage in this game. Okay, let's see what's in this room. Move it! Get it? Move it, because he's a minotaur, and I guess that's like a cow. Move it. You know, people talk about the minotaur in Shin Megami Tensei 4 being, you know, like the difficulty filter in that game, the casual filter. I wonder, will this minotaur be the same? Oh, he moves! Oh, I love that. Those are cows. He, in fact, throws cows. Wow, he does a lot of damage, though. Okay. Now that we know more or less what's going on. Okay, I can just run fast enough to avoid the falling... Yeah, right? Destroyed me. Okay, come on. I like that you can just get out of the way. No real margin for error here. It's not that he does too much. I took too much. Okay, there we go. This game has a delicate balance of, you know, no one to hit and no one to get out of the way, and to find the exact edge of the bad guy's hitbox. Teleporting skeletons. Get out of here. Respawning enemies is always a major pet peeve of mine. Oh, let's see if we can farm up some health and then go back and face the Minotaur. I like that you don't have to face the boss right away if you're not prepared or if you don't want to. Let's get just in range. Come on, come on. There we go. We are going to be cowardly because these levels are not on a timer. Come on, get in range, get in range. Music is nice, though. Very simple, but fitting for a cave level. Ooh, okay, I can hang out. I can hit him without jumping. That's nice. Ooh, okay. Now that I've got Bert, let's go in and thrash this Minotaur. Oh, his head doesn't take damage, though. Gotta get out of the way of him and his cows. Okay. Took more damage than I would have liked, but that wasn't too bad. And I think, unless I'm mistaken, that my shots are traveling farther than they used to. I seem to be... I'm growing more powerful as the game goes on. Let's see. Gotta tread lightly. There we go. My legs are asleep. Is that supposed to be the Sphinx? Or is there an invisible guy? Is the enemy the invisible guy? Is that a mummy? I think that's a mummy. Both. Okay, it's a mummy and he's throwing his bandages at me. And he is all over me. Good lord. Let's just spam. There we go. Like that the music changed, though. Oh, we've got a big, nasty-looking bat guy. Oh, I gotta... Oh, no. Was that an umbrella? Not a bat? That is an umbrella. This is weird. Umbrella. Yeah, I can't think of many games as just unabashedly weird as this on the Nintendo. There I go, sounding like a boomer, calling it the Nintendo instead of the NES. Oh, here's something I would like your opinion on, class. Give me a second, and I'm going to make a poll about a very important topic of how you say the name of this system. Because I have my way, but there's one other common way, and I wanna see, do you all have the right answer or not? In my opinion, there is a right answer. Let me see. How do I make a poll? How do I do that? Does anyone know how to make a poll? Yeah, that dude gave me some health. So, ooh, maybe I can go farm health from him. Hold on. How do I make a poll? I don't know about these fancy things. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Got an important poll coming in. Okay, how do you pronounce the name of this system? Very important question. I'll let you think on that for a bit, class. While I try to farm this enemy for health. If he respawns. Oh, don't tell me that one guy that gave me health won't respawn. Or do I need to go further? Let me see. If I can carefully get this nasty looking... Ooh, the vampire guy drops health too. If these both drop health, I'm gonna be made in the shade. Okay, I think this is the spot. So I won't say what my personal preference is. I don't want to skew the poll. But once I have gathered all the health I'm liable to gather, I will check the results of the poll and see if you have all passed. Poll ended. Okay, good. NES. That is the way to say it. It is not the NES. It's not the NES and SNES. It's the NES and SNES, or Super Nintendo. Also acceptable. Or NES or SNES, I've heard people say. Yes, you're allowed to keep watching, Based Bug. You passed the test. Even if you didn't pass the test, you're allowed to keep watching. Just with some judgment. And I do wonder, is it a regional thing? Does it depend on, what your friends said? All the way or like NES? No! So either Nintendo Entertainment System or NES. I can accept NES better than NES. Yeah, you'll have to catch remedial streams. I can respect if someone says Nintendo Entertainment System every single time, and Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Or if they just say Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Also acceptable. Okay, that's all the health I can farm, apparently. Yeah, the Nintendo is totally acceptable. Well, especially, when it was the only Nintendo. It's not like you had to differentiate. Because it was either the Nintendo or maybe the Game Boy. Speaking of the Game Boy, I remember my older brother had one. Oh, Tane, I do know why, because I also called the PlayStation 1 the PSX for the longest time. And the reason, at least for me, was because all the gaming magazines back in the day abbreviated the PlayStation as PSX. All the way back from like 1994 when they first started talking about it, it was always PSX. So that's what I always called it. I'm aware now that the PSX, besides being, the dev console, was also, one specific variant of it in Japan. But all the Western gaming magazines, ever since the mid-90s, called it PSX. So that's just always the name that stuck in my head as the abbreviation. And the PS1, not spelled PS1, but spelled like that, was the tiny one that they came out with in like 99 or 2000 or so, that had the little LCD screen you could attach. Those are very nice, that little screen. It's actually quite good quality for the time. Please drop some health. Nope, no health. Yeah, I have a PS1, I don't have the screen. I'd love to find one of the screens. Hey, Hamza, good to see you. We are doing some spooky NES gaming tonight. I'll suck all your blood. And we are on level 3 of Monster Party right now. Which is a very, very bizarre, I guess horror platformer would be the right thing to call it, on the NES. With some really grotesque visuals. Monster Party. So look at that game over screen. And I'm playing on real hardware. There are 8 levels. Good lord. I'm probably not going to make it through all 8, but we'll see. Also, this end screen is like grotesque, skeletons drowning in a pool of blood, skulls everywhere, and then just like a cool dance bop. Ooh, Ghosts and Goblins is a good Halloween game. If I were to play that, I would probably want to hook up my Genesis and play Ghouls and Ghosts. Ooh, Fatal Frame released on Steam a few days ago. I know Fatal Frame 5 is getting a physical version on Switch. And I do have the capability to stream from my Switch. Sorry, just pouring myself another cold one. It's a Friday night. I'm with the boys. That's what the count in the upper left-hand corner is. So really, I'm probably not going to get any better at games as we go on through the night. But we'll see. We'll do our best. Oh, what was the trick they snuck in? So, I mean, I've played the NES version of Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts or whichever one is on NES is rough. You know, it's not very well. I think it was a Micronix ported game, and they had a reputation for low quality. Oh, it sends you back to level 5? That's ruthless. This game has such tight hitboxes and almost no iframes, so you need to be very, very careful when engaging enemies. I enjoy James's videos, even though the nerd shtick has kind of gotten a little old. I enjoy when he just does videos, you know, as himself, as James, reacting to stuff. Because, you know, I'm of a similar age to him. I think I'm a little bit younger than he is. But, yeah, I appreciate a lot of the takes he has on stuff. Though, whereas... Yeah, exactly. Old AVJN is timeless. The videos where he's reacting to games that he had as a kid, and not ones that, you know, he played later in life, those videos are solid gold. I think the last episode of his I really loved was the one on Star Wars games. Because I had, you know, both Star Wars, the weird one on NES, and Empire Strikes Back, and those were so frustrating as games, but I loved them because I loved Star Wars. I still love Star Wars. That hasn't changed. Oh yeah, I did know about having to beat the game twice, because that's the same as in the arcade. Oh, see, I like the Super Star Wars games on Super Nintendo. Because those they're ruthless, but they're fun. And they're well made. Those, I think, were made by Factor 5, who went on to make the Rogue Squadron series, which remains near the pinnacle of all Star Wars games. And it's a crime, and I will... Every time I think about this, I get mad anew that when the Wii was, you know, still a new system, Factor 5 wanted to put out a game that was Rogue Squadron 1 redone on a new engine, along with Rogue Squadron 2 and 3, you know, all running at 480p, 60 frames per second, which was, you know, the best the Wii could do. Though I'm going to defend the Wii a bit here. Plenty of Wii games look great graphically. It was more than just a souped-up GameCube. I mean, it was just a souped-up GameCube, but the visuals it could produce were very nice. And Factor 5 had this game like 99% complete, and they couldn't get a publisher. Like, I think that was when LucasArts was getting, you know, bought out by EA or something. Hey, Spike, welcome! Welcome, Raiders. Loser mode raid. Oh no, were you not able to clear, Twisted Metal 2, Spike? You've joined in time for some spooky original Nintendo games. Right now we are 3 levels into Monster Party on the NES. Oh, thank you, Super Upsetty. I was just about to do that. Playing Monster Party. I'm playing on real hardware as well. This is my childhood NES and copy of the game. Which also means that this controller is, you know, 30 years old, and the down arrow doesn't work particularly well, so it's a bit punishing. How did the rest of Twisted Metal 2 go, Spike? Judging by the You beat it on easy mode and the game called you a loser. Oh, that's ruthless. You're not a loser, Spike. You're a winner. Anyone with Misfits Halloween costume is a winner. Hold on. Let me change into my Halloween costume. Give me a moment. Whoops. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm changing. Put on my Halloween costume for you for 1 second, class. It's really what I do every year for Halloween. Because it fits me quite well. I think you'll agree. Yes. You can see. Don't look at my deformity. I'm the Phantom. No, it's just a Phantom of the Opera mask. It's my Halloween costume pretty much every year. I am looking forward to, I pass out candy to trick-or-treaters. And, if anyone asks, I do sing for them. I'll suck all your blood. Now, I can't recall a tick-themed horror movie, so I don't know what this is referencing, but I don't think you need anything to make that scary. Okay, we've beaten the 3 boss enemies in the level. We've got the key, and we can leave. So let's get out of here. Okay, and I think that's the door. I think that was level 3. That's the fastest one yet. Excellent. Spike, it was your raid that led me to victory. Let me write down the password. Hold on. No emulation here, folks. I cannot just save. I am at the mercy of the game's password system. Oh, one of those is a 0 and one's an O, and I don't know which. All right. Also, look at this gruesome interstitial screen. We've got a ton of skeletons and a lake of blood. I don't know how Nintendo approved this back in the day. Released in 93. Yeah, this game came out in 89, I believe. Either 89 or 91, somewhere around there. Ooh. Oh, listen to that fat bass sound. Oh, let me turn up the game. Has the game audio been loud enough for you to hear, class? Because if not, I can turn it up some more. Because the music's been quite good all the way throughout. Oh, that rock is apparently a thing I can hit. I don't think I can break it, though. Oh, we've got a nasty scorpion. Snakes. I'm liking this, Egypt-themed level. For sheer impact, though, nothing comes close to the first level of this game. Actually, Raiders, would you like to see the first level so you get an idea of just... Is Simon's Quest a bad game? No, Hamza, and I'll tell you why. Simon's Quest is a very ambitious game that has a lot of excellent ideas that were very, very prescient. The execution could have been better, and some of that was lost in translation. Things like, go kneel by the cliff to summon the whirlwind. We're not super clear. Okay, there we go. Can reflect the projectiles. But it's not a bad game, I wouldn't say. And what it did as a game, really pushed the envelope for adventure gaming on the NES. Nothing had been quite that ambitious. Other games came along and were, better at executing the same ideas. But Simon's Quest itself is not a bad game. It's a frustrating game. Yes, some of the townspeople do tell outright lies. And I think in the original Japanese, they make it a little clearer, you know, you can't trust everybody. You know, I'm not going to say it's a perfect game. Meow. Meow. There's my best meow for you, class. Oh, I can probably do it better. Meow. Meow. Yeah, that's a localization thing. I guess a cat in a box here would be like a sphinx. Oh, I like how he has a little meow as his damage sound. You know, I don't think I ever got this far. I don't think I ever got this far in this game as a kid. It just goes to show you that, you know, even when you're a kid and have all the time in the world, you don't necessarily get better at games than you do as an adult. You know, I've got more than 30 years of gaming experience to draw on now while playing this. Granted, I also am absolutely going to feel sore in my wrists tomorrow. Oh, God. You know, I don't have carpal tunnel currently, but I worry about it. Yeah. No, Hamza, there's definitely, you know, a lot wrong with Simon's Quest, but I think, judging by the standards of the time, it was very, very ambitious, and... Hold on. I am a slowpoke. What is this guy even supposed to be? No, but by the standards of the time, you know, there was nothing quite like Simon's Quest, and it was one of those games that, you know, you would talk about with your friends or the other kids in the neighborhood and be like, have you figured out how to, you know, get past this part? You know, or do you have the new Nintendo Power? Can you help me out? Oh yeah, no, the original Legend of Zelda is my favorite game of all time. And I will sing that game's praises forever from a game design standpoint. Yeah, exactly, Spike. It is a very novel game. Hold on, I'm going to reset and show you, since we just had a bunch of raiders come in, what the first level of this game looks like. Also the title screen, because it's brilliant. And then I'll continue, because I've got the password written down. So you're a boy walking home from your baseball game. You get abducted by an alien and brought to his homeworld to fight dangerous monsters. You show up in round 1, and it's this bizarre-looking place. You've got, you know, bancho-looking, you know, Japanese delinquent high schoolers. I think the lies are in the Japanese version, Hamza, but they're explicitly told to you to be lies. You go in the first door you can find, and you've got what's clearly... you know, an Audrey 2 reference from Little Shop of Horrors. You just wail on the plant. You know, you can reflect the projectiles and be smart about it, but I prefer to just blast my way through. You need to beat 3 boss characters in each level anyway. But you've got this bizarro imagery all throughout. You know, you've got legs coming up out of the ground. Now, imagine for a moment that you're about 4 or 5 years old, and you're playing this game for the first time. It's strange enough, you know, starting as is here. But we're gonna cross a threshold in this level where it goes from strange to outright nightmarish. And you'll see what I mean. Also, the legs coming up out of the ground are just... This is a deeply strange game, and I'm amazed that it came out at all, especially in the state that it's in. Also, this room haunted me as a child. You just walk in and there's a fly buzzing around the carapace of a decomposing crab that just says, "Sorry, I'm dead." And you can't leave right away, you have to wait until the fly dies. Sorry, I'm dead. Right, Spike? So just imagine that you're a wee lad and you're seeing this. You're very confused. You walk into this giant shrubbery or tree. When I cross, I think it's a crab. Maybe it is a bird, I don't know. I've been thinking of it as a crab for more than 30 years now, so I can't unsee that. But when you walk by the center of this shrubbery, the whole world becomes a nightmare of skulls and blood and absolute grotesque nightmare imagery. It might be a deer, I don't know. Got dogs with human heads covered in bloody skin running by. Needless to say, as a child, I was quite frightened by this game. Got eyeballs walking around on, brain stems. You've got this pitiful pumpkin boss who's just saying, please don't pick on me. NES Godzilla, I have not. Yeah, I think I made my point though. I'm gonna resume back at the 4th level. Okay, input password. KJ2. I'm nostalgic about things like the era when games required passwords. But truthfully, I do not miss it. Even back then I didn't miss it. Games that had a battery backup were so much better. Yeah, I got it right. Tell me about the NES Godzilla, Hamza, because I'm curious. Now we're back in Egypt with that. Oh, I love that fat bass sound. The NES has to have one of my favorite sound chips of all time, the 2A03 chip. In the right hands, it could do such amazing things. And there were a bunch of incredibly talented composers. Right? 20 character passwords, it is a nightmare. I remember, we used to have, like, a little easel in the basement of my parents' house that my brother and I would use as kids to write down passwords for, levels and games. And if, like, the page ever got torn off or something, we would be very distraught because it's like, no, we can't get back to level 5 now! Okay, come on. There we go. I need to buy new controllers for this. This is becoming agony on my thumbs. It's like, I know that, now that we live in, the internet era, of course I can easily look up the, okay, so it's only his legs that do damage to me. That's odd, but whatever. What's the best way to attack him, then? Maybe get in 2 hits and run? Oh, by the way, class, backseating is very welcome if you know this game or have the pro strats. I'd be delighted to hear them. Yeah, I know about the creepypasta, but I don't know about the actual game. Yeah, the Samurai Bro does seem a little tough. Also strange to me that there's a samurai in the Egyptian-themed level, but, who can say... I would have to consult my histories, but the Egyptian dynasties ruled for so long and had influence over so much of the world that, the world's full of stranger things than we could imagine. It would not shock me if, at some point in history, a lone Japanese trader somehow made their way to Egypt. You know, because the world's a complicated place. Can I not... Can I get this guy from here with a reflected projectile? God, the timing on this is tight. I gotta hit it, like... just... Oh, come on! It's like just 1 pixel away. So in the game, a bunch of monsters are attempting to invade planet Earth. You have to stop them. You can play as Godzilla or Mothra. The entire game takes place in outer space. You fight iconic monsters like Gigan, Ghidorah, and Mechagodzilla, but also pretty obscure ones like Gezora, Mogera, and Varan. That sounds cool. I mean, I've seen the sprite art from that game, and it looks great. That's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, are the old Godzilla movies. We do need more kaiju games. Did any of you ever play, it's called RAD on PS2, Robotic Alchemic Drive? It was a giant robot game where you controlled the giant robot from the perspective of a normal-sized person on the ground with a giant remote control. Very unique gameplay experience. Also, speaking of kaiju games, I am looking to get together a group, hopefully soon, to play some EDF on stream, Earth Defense Force. I know Alaric would like to play, so if anybody else has EDF and would be interested, do let me know. I'll be making a post about that soon. It's kind of boring, though. Every time you pass a level, you fight the same monsters again, but with 1 added per stage. Yeah, you do want to be kind of just rampaging as Godzilla, not just kind of stuck. You know, I don't think of outer space when I think of Godzilla. But give me a Jet Jaguar game. That's one of my favorite Godzilla movies that has the fight between... I think it's Godzilla and Jet Jaguar, where Godzilla does that absolutely insane flying kick. If you know the one I'm talking about. I wonder, can I backtrack in this level, or have I just doomed myself? Ooh, I didn't know I could break that. EDF 5's on sale right now. That's good. EDF 5 is excellent. Jet Jaguar is just cool, man. Like, he's... You know, starts as this little action figure. Oh, God. Okay. Can maybe farm some health from this guy. Okay, good, and I can keep replenishing myself as Bert. Okay, we're gonna cheese some health here. There we go. I am not at all ashamed about what I'm doing right... Oh, he stopped giving health. I am never too proud to cheese my way through a difficult game. Pride here would be for fools. I want to win. Okay, come on. Toss your projectile. Let me bat it into you. Oh, this is difficult. Okay, I gotta get to the point where I can just hit his head. Pride tastes like sweat and victory cheese. I'm loving the music for this level, though. Ooh. You know, worst game on NES. Face the music! Is that supposed to be a guitar? I think so. Spike, you're in the game. Well, that was quick. Okay, know what, class? I will be right back. I just need to go use the bathroom, so give me 1 moment. I will be back in a moment. I'm just going to change the message here from starting soon to be right back. I hope you appreciate that I've given... Oh, know what? Now I do see the T-Rex now, Teddy. Yeah, not an idle meeting. Not tonight. Thank you, Kamiana. I hope you appreciate that I've given both the character and the boss little hats, though now looking at it, I feel like the hat should be elsewhere, but you know what? The hat's gonna stay where it is. I'll be back in a moment, class. All right, we are back. Thank you for waiting, class. Figure we'll make a few more attempts to get through level 4 here. Right, Hamza? It is very fun talking about retro games. I think I will be doing more retro game streams. Oh no, I'm going to see if I can't farm health from that little snake. Now that I've got, a decent setup for capturing from real hardware. Ooh, what I should hook up is my Tower of Sega. So my Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and Sega 32X. I've got the whole setup. That would be a lot of fun. Because I am a Sega CD and Sega 32X apologist. I love those systems and will defend them any day of the week. Oh, yeah. See, I'm in my 30s, so... But, then again, that's not a guarantee that people know what they're talking about. Lots of people, had games as a kid, but didn't really know about them. I don't even think they're into Fortnite anymore. I had to, play Fortnite as pretty much a punishment, stream. And it didn't seem like there were even that many real people playing, or maybe when you're just at a low level, they just stick you in with bots. I did win several number 1 victory royales, but it was not... I don't think they were against real people for the most part. Okay, let's get that snake. Ooh, he's still giving health. This is nice. Come on. Okay. I think that's all the health we can farm, but that's pretty good. It's way more than I started the level with. Let's get this guy. It's funny that, I'm further into this game tonight than I ever got into it as a kid. And I think the reason is, as a kid, if I was frustrated with a game I was playing, I would just stop playing it and play something better. Like, if I was playing this and I got, annoyed by level 2, which is pretty much how it always went, I would put in, like, Mario Bros. 3 or something, fun, or Contra, Castlevania, Punch-Out, you know, good games. Not that this game is bad, but it's definitely frustrating in a way that those other games I just named weren't. You know, yes, those other games were all very challenging, but they were challenging in different ways to this. You know, this, it feels like... Never played a Mega Man game. Oh. So, Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 are my absolute favorites. Especially of the older ones. I don't actually like Mega Man 1 that much, just because the games that came later in the series refined it so much. 4, 5, and 6 on NES are all okay. You know, like, they're all, I would say, pretty good. But, 2 and 3 are phenomenal. 2 is the best one. 2 is the best one, in my opinion. Mega Man 7 on Super Nintendo, I don't like it very much. Mega Man 8 on PlayStation, also don't love. 9 and 10 on Wii are excellent. Mega Man X, X2, X3 on Super Nintendo, fantastic, all great. X4 on Saturn and PlayStation is good. X5 and X6 on PlayStation I don't like at all, and X7 and X8 on PS2 are tragic. X8's a little better than X7, but they are both bad. And then you've got lots of spin-offs. I've never been a huge Mega Man Legends fan, which might be surprising considering how much I like, you know, the Zelda series. I think Mega Man Legends is excellent in lots of ways. I just never loved it. Oh, Super Mario crossover, I remember that. This guy moves at, like, the exact speed to avoid getting hit, but to also be dangerous in front of you. Just gonna try to damage boost through this boss. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Oh, they all have unique power-ups. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the Castlevania games, as well, are a great example of games that are difficult, but they feel fair. You know, when you lose in Castlevania, rarely does it feel like it wasn't your fault. Whereas in here, I feel like, you know, a lot of this is just the result of design choices where, you know, like, enemies can just walk into you while you're trying to hit them, and that kind of sucks. You know, and the game basically kind of shrugs at you, and it's like, okay, so what? Play around it, figure it out. Which is not very fun most of the time. And then the no knockback covered with very short iframes makes for some very difficult sections. Oh, he won't drop health because I farmed it earlier in the level, I think. That's frustrating. So I just gotta be good. Let's see, what's up here? Okay, this is the musician guy. Oh my god. Getting like... Oh, he killed me a lot quicker. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden's harder. Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3... yeah, right, Oedipus Reps? I think it is a Spike cameo. I've beaten Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. Can I slide under him? I will have to try. I've beaten Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 because those games have continues. Ninja Gaiden 3 does not have continues, and it makes it so much more difficult. You know what? Why don't I save farming health until later in the level? Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 1 was also just a game I've had since I was a kid, so I learned it pretty well, you know? And then I feel like once you learn the mechanics of a game like that, you can beat it pretty quickly. The Japanese version does have continues. That was a pretty common thing of features getting cut or altered in a US or international release. Like the US version of Castlevania 3, which I'm going to play later, is much more difficult than the Japanese version because there's no saving. A lot of times that was just an attempt to save money by not needing to include, a battery backup. Or in the case of Castlevania 2, American NES games weren't allowed to use non-Nintendo-made extender chips. Like, Konami had developed their own line of additional chips for the NES, the VRC line. I think starting with Contra, they used the VRC2. Hey, Pixelicissa, good to see you. I know Castlevania 3, or Akamajo Densetsu, used the VRC6 chip, which added an entire extra 3 sound channels to the system that almost sound like FM synth quality. They're spectacular. And I believe 2 Konami games used the VRC7, those being Lagrange Point and I think a Tiny Toons game. But they allowed for better animation and dramatically better sound. And the VRC6 version of Castlevania's soundtrack is absolutely insane. Let me pull that up. Hold on. It sounds mind-blowingly good. Let me see. Can I mute this? Okay. So here's what. I'm gonna do a quick version-to-version comparison here. Now, Castlevania 3 has an incredible soundtrack, no matter how you slice it. Great compositions. And here's how the US version sounds. Now, this is the opening for Dracula's Curse. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Very cool. Here's what the Japanese version of the same thing sounds like. If the video will load. Just prepare yourself. It's insane! It's so much cooler. You've got these super rich tones. Like, skip into a level. Like, could you imagine hearing this coming out of your NES? Unfortunately, Nintendo did not allow games localized for the West to utilize those extra chips. Part of the reason for that, I believe, and as contrast, here's the same tune, the NES version. Still awesome. Still great. But it feels like almost a generational leap difference between them. Okay, that's my tangent over for now. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, part of the reason was in Japan, companies were producing their own cartridges, whereas in the US and Western market, Nintendo was responsible for all cartridge production, not just their own games. And they wanted to keep a fairly uniform retail price for games. Oh, Kamiyana, you'd never heard the difference. It's insane. It's night and day. So I think I've mentioned on stream before that I have quite a large record collection. Vinyl records. Over 1,000 at this point, I think. But one thing I like are buying video game soundtracks that get issued on records. And so I have Castlevania 1, 2, 3, 4, Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, Symphony of the Night, all on vinyl records. And they all include, for the Castlevania 1 and 2, the NES version and the Famicom Disk System version of each. Oh, welcome Atropa, welcome Coven. You have come at a good time. We are playing a very creepy game. Good to see you, Arthur. Good to see you, Pig. Thank you for the shout out. Yes, welcome Raiders. We are playing Monster Party on the NES, and not just playing on the NES, we are playing literally on my childhood NES, which I have hooked up. Oh, I will insult you, Respite, once I destroy this cat monster. Monster Party is one of the weirdest games on the NES. You play as a boy, Mark, who gets abducted by an alien, Bert, to go fight the evil monsters on his home planet. All right, hold on. We've got some redeems to do. Oh, my cold one count's gone. We're up to 3, and this will be 4. You really want me to insult you, Respite? You 3-suited, flat-mouthed caitiff? You saucy, worse-bodied whore son? Yeah, Pig, I thought this was a fun way to do it with, a CRT overlay. And this is very similar to the TV that used to live in my parents' basement 30 years ago. But I've got, my trusty NES hooked up. I say trusty after I spent, the first 20 minutes of the stream with it crashing occasionally before I took the game out and gave it a deep cleaning. All right, we have had a cold one redeemed. So, as is tradition, we're not just gonna pour a cold one. We're gonna crack a cold one and down it. Atropa, I will need to retrieve more cold ones. I will down this one, then go grab some more. The count in the top left hand is the cold ones count for the night. Actually, since Raiders just came... Oh yeah, well I'm gonna add it after I finish drinking it. Because I haven't cracked it yet. Okay, here is our chug ASMR. Don't know how fast I'm gonna be tonight, but we will do our best. There we go. Excuse me. Try not to burp. 12.8 crack to drop. Not bad. Excuse me. Coughing instead of burping, that's not great. So, Raiders, I would like to show you the first level here of Monster Party. Because one, look at that splash screen. Skeletons, blood dripping everywhere. And then you're dropped into this bizarre world filled with Japanese delinquents. You've got people's legs sticking up out of the ground. And all of the bosses in this whole game, really, are references to horror movies. So you've got Little Shop of Horrors here. A clear Audrey 2. Like, feed me, Seymour! So we're just gonna go beat the hell out of it with a baseball bat, because that's what you do, right? If I can survive. The really notable thing, though, is when you're about halfway through this level, things go from weird to downright horrific. And you'll see what I mean. The controls are also very, very stiff and strange with quite weird physics. It's the kind of game that you have to get used to. Also, you can transform into the alien, because you've fused, apparently. It's a weird game. Love the music, though. Let me find the room. You've got a, what you think is going to be a boss fight. But instead, it's just toppled over saying, "Sorry, I'm dead." Which, Teddy Deadrat pointed out, I'm pretty sure it's now a T-Rex on its side. Growing up as a kid, I always thought it was like a crab's carapace wilted. But either way, you've got a boss apologizing for being dead. Which inspired me for my Be Right Back screen tonight. Of just me saying, "Sorry, I'm dead." But now imagine, you're 4 or 5 years old and you're playing this game. It's deeply, deeply confusing. Especially, you get to this point, you see this big tree, and you cross the threshold, and the whole world turns into a nightmare hellscape of blood and guts everywhere with, you've got a disgusting fleshy dog with a man's head as an enemy that you'll see come running at me in a second. Which I'm pretty sure is some yokai, the name of which I don't remember. How did this get past Nintendo's, approval processes back in the day? Because this is some nightmare stuff. You go in here and you've got a Pumpkinhead boss who's saying, "Please don't pick on me." Like, what? Nothing in this game makes sense. We are nearly halfway through, though. I have been writing down the passwords as I clear levels to keep going. It's, fairly difficult, but not as bad as I thought it would be. Because despite having had this game for, 30 years or more at this point, I have never beaten it. Mostly because as a kid, if I would get frustrated with a game, I would just put it down and go play a different game. Hold on. Actually, this seems like a good point to go refresh my stock of cold ones. So I will be right back. Sorry, I'm dead. All right, I am back. Thank you for your patience, class. I have refreshed my stock of cold ones. So here is... Oh, got to keep updating the count. I do not want to become famous. Pasta revenge. All right. Time for a cold one. I'll try to remember to mute myself if I have to burp after this. Ooh, that one was a lot quicker. Hold on. No worries, Super Upsetty. It's not a race when you're just enjoying a cold one with the boys. Okay. Back to round 4. I think this might be the last try on round 4 before I move on to the next game on my list, which is Fester's Quest by Sunsoft, which bizarrely and quite fortuitously came out right before the 90s revival of Addams Family, though has no relation to said revival. It was a case of, I believe Sunsoft wanted to make an alien invasion themed game and just happened to be able to acquire the license to Addams Family on the cheap. And whoever was directing the game really liked Addams Family as a kid and always had it in his head that he wanted to make an Uncle Fester game. And so Fester's Quest was born just before the big revival and interest in Addams Family. Also, I love that 90s Addams Family. You've got the inimitable Raul Julia as Gomez Addams. Just flawless casting and performance. Yeah, exactly. It's still a lot of fun. Also, as I'm sure, every boy in the 90s did, everyone had a crush on Wednesday. Alright, I don't know why we're in an Egypt-themed level. Ooh, it's free on YouTube. Oh, I should have done a watch-along for that. That would have been very fun. Isn't there a new Addams Family thing out now? I think a CG movie? Didn't see anything about it, but if it can capture any of the spirit of either the original or the 90s one, I don't care if the art style's not to my taste. If it captures that feeling, that's all that really matters. Don't know why we have a samurai in a Egypt-themed level, but who's to say that one wandering samurai never made his way to Egypt? I would watch that anime. I would absolutely watch that anime. Are you kidding me? There we go. Now I think down here is the cat boss. Just delinquents doing it to the Bangles. Walk like an Egyptian. Oh, that is a great record. This game does have some graphical glitches, Pixelikissa. The most common one being what you're seeing right now is sprite flicker, which is where you can see, when there's a lot of items on the same horizontal line in the game, you'll see some flicker in and out of existence. That's because the NES can only draw so many sprites per scan line, so they essentially have to take turns alternating. There is, however, also a lot of visual noise in the signal. So do you see how there's kind of what look like wavy lines crawling down that solid blue portion of the wall? That's just a result of my capture solution for this is very, very basic. It's it's analog and it's composite in through USB. It's not a high quality capture card. In that way, though, it kind of makes it look like it fits on this TV here. This little TV overlay that I've got in place. But there's no special effect added here to make it look bad. No, it's not emulated. This is my real original Nintendo from my childhood. I really should do... So you can do to an NES what's called a 72-pin replacement. The 72-pin reader is what makes the contact between the tines of the contacts on the cartridge and the system itself. And on the NES, because they did a completely harebrained redesign of the system as compared to the Famicom, it bends 180 degrees, basically, and it's very prone to failure over time. Now... Oh, sorry. I have replaced dozens of NES 72 pins. Some years ago, quite a long time ago, one of my former jobs before I was a teacher was as a manager of a chain of used video game stores. And I would do some repairs, including the NES. So I've replaced dozens, if not hundreds, of NES 72-pin connectors. But I've never done it to my own NES because it's always worked well enough and I don't mind finagling with it a little bit. But I also haven't hooked it up in a few years before, this past week to make sure that this would work for stream. And I don't know if the game was just a bit dirty or what, but I had some connection issues, so I may as well just... You know what? I should pick up a spare NES to use as a mod project. Like get better video out from it, and there's all sorts of things you can do. I've modded systems in the past, mostly handhelds because they're quite easy to work on. Like I've resurrected a bunch of Sega Game Gears that just needed new capacitors, but I've also, put a modern backlight in one and a better screen and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of quite easy to use kits online if you don't mind a little soldering. And I certainly don't mind a little soldering. Especially if I'm starting with a broken system. My attitude is, well, it's already broken, I can't make it worse. I mean, that's the same attitude that I take towards, I was mentioning a record collection earlier. I fix up a lot of turntables and cassette decks. Just for fun, mostly. Or I'll fix one up for a friend and, sell it to them at cost, basically, instead of them paying a lot for a new turntable that's not, truthfully, very good. Or rather, there are good turntables on the market currently, but they're very basic and cost a lot of money, whereas you can buy something older and put a little bit of work into it and have something as good or better than anything sold on the market today for anything, less than $2,000. So I fix stuff up because, between the availability of original service manuals on forums like, Tapeheads and Vinyl Engine and stuff like that, there's loads and loads of resources out there on how to repair stuff. And for the most part, it's, replacing a belt here, a new part there, removing the old lubricant on something and putting on new silicone grease. It's easy stuff, and there's YouTube videos. And if I'm starting with something that's broken, my attitude is, well, there's no reason to not get in there and meddle with it. It's already broken. I can't make it worse. It doesn't work already. I may as well go nuts, I mean, I love how many resources there are available for, old audio equipment these days. Because it just means that, there's no excuse to not... Yeah, exactly. And that's what I do. And tons of those old parts are still being made. You can order a brand new belt for an old turntable. Or even, like, the idler wheel for a, rim-driven... turntable. You can buy those brand new still. It's amazing. Okay, I think this is the last boss I have to beat. I'm just gonna try to blast him away as fast as I can. I like how you've got this guitar rock sounding... Got him! Soundtrack. Reminds me of, like, Iron Maiden with those galloping, like, triplet passages in all their songs. Okay. If I can find the exit door now, I have the key to leave the level. So all I need to do is find the door that takes me out of here. And then I'm good to go. Okay, it's gotta be over here. Oh god. I gotta reflect this projectile. Which means getting, like, a pixel-perfect hit. There we go. Ooh, okay. They're not making this easy. But yeah, the availability of old service manuals these days for, everything is really remarkable. Got it! Got through the level with one bit of health left. Okay, we are halfway through the game now. It's quite cool. Hold on, I've got my notebook here writing down the password. Just like in the old days. My thumb is getting quite sore. No, I'm gonna keep going on this for a while, exactly like the good old times, Dr. De La Plaga. Thank you for stopping by the way. Also, enjoy this very gruesome for NES splash screen. I'm still, I've had this game for 30 years, and I'm continually, probably more than 30 years at this point. I don't remember when we got this. I'm continually amazed at the amount of blood and gore that's in this for a, US original Nintendo release. And we are playing on real hardware. I've got my actual NES hooked up. That's why you can see a lot of, composite artifacts with the, Oh, really? You want to be insulted, Dr. De La Plaga? You churlish, dizzy-eyed gudgeon? You really want to be insulted, you wayward, lily-livered pizzle? I love these. I should look up to see if there's, only in a classy way. Actually, who would be a good Spanish contemporary to Shakespeare? Cervantes was later, yeah? I'm trying to think if I could get a bilingual fancy old-timey insult going. I don't know as many 1500s, 1600s Spanish authors. Oh, know what? I should turn back on. I have a channel points redeem that I don't often have on, where you'd be able to force me to speak in another language for 5 minutes, with the idea being that it would be either Spanish, which I speak fairly well. I can understand better than I can speak, but I can hold a conversation. Korean, which I speak fairly well. I'd say at a, normal conversational level. And Mandarin Chinese, which I speak all right, and I am totally illiterate now. I learned that in undergrad a long time ago. And, 4 years of learning is plenty to be able to speak fairly well, but you're not going to be literate at that point. Or some very broken Japanese or broken German. But I don't have those on, mostly because I don't want to insult anybody with my poor attempt at speaking their language if they would like me to try. And I realize there's just, depending on which language it is, I have gaps in it. So my Spanish was mostly learned in, secondary school, like high school. And then years later, working in a retail environment where it was useful to be able to speak Spanish. So I speak fairly well, but there's gaps, in the formal education. My Korean, meanwhile, was almost entirely self-taught, but I lived in South Korea for a few years. But I realized that there's some basic things that you would have learned, either in school or as a child. Like, I've realized there's some colors that I don't know how to say in Korean because it never came up in my day-to-day life. So, even though, any child could tell you, or any, first semester language student could tell you the colors, I can hold a full conversation with you and then not remember how to say purple in Korean because it was never relevant. So it's interesting to me the kind of gaps there are in my language abilities. And then while I am a native English speaker, English is a disastrous language, full of contradictions and, oh goodness. I appear to have become more powerful throughout these levels, and I'm now playing entirely as Bert, the alien. We've got, ooh, it's quite a large shark. No, it's not a large shark, it's a tiny shark with a gigantic fin. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that really tickled me. Look at that. Hold on, let me get it to jump. I want to pause. Oh, and while I am pausing, I'm going to pour myself another drink. This is not a chug redeem. I just would like to have a beer for sipping. There we go. Do any of you know or remember the YouTube show Classic Game Room? with Mark Bustler. We've been tricked, we've been backstabbed, and we've been quite possibly bamboozled. Do any of you, class, remember CGR, Classic Game Room? So the mug, the glass I am using for my beer, the ones that are not a Chug Redeem, are the CGR mug that says input beer, output fun. I absolutely loved Classic Game Room. That was the best games review show on YouTube by a country mile, if you ask me, because Mark understands that games are fun. Games should be fun. Not that games can't be other things, too. Of course they can. But your game needs to be fun. And he gets it. He knows that it's more important for a game to be interesting than good or polished. That might sound weird to say, but I will always respect, and this is true of movies, games, books, comics, any media, I will respect something that is interesting more than I'll respect something that is polished but boring. Because if your game or movie is really, technically proficient but uninteresting, what are you doing? That's how I feel about, the Uncharted series, which I have a very hard time saying anything bad about because they're immaculately polished games. They work perfectly, they push boundaries visually, but they're boring to me. They're not showing me anything I haven't seen before. And if I'm honest, I would rather just watch an Indiana Jones movie than play the Uncharted game. Because I'm not getting anything out of the game beyond what I'd get from watching that movie. Yes, exactly, Kamiana. Mark was nice. He was earnest. He wasn't trying to be AVGN. I mean, he predates AVGN. Mark's show started in 1999, I think. And Mark respects the Dreamcast, so I respect Mark. But he understood that a game that's flawed but interesting holds so much more interest and value for me, and for a lot of people, I think, than something that's flawlessly well polished, but I don't want to say soulless. Because I don't think, something like Uncharted has the passion of hundreds of people who made it behind it, and it does show. Exactly, let him have a flamethrower in game and he'll have a good time. And so will I. I respect that. Or, his enthusiasm for something like Truxton on the Sega Genesis, which is an incredible shmup. It was called Tatsujin in Japan. But, the sheer joy... Oh, Hot Wheels Unleashed, right? I've heard a lot about that, but I have not played it myself yet. I don't know if this enemy is killable or if I'm just wasting my time here. Oh, he is. I had on PC a Hot Wheels game in the late 90s that I remember being a lot of fun. But I have not gone back to confirm if it was, in fact, good or fun. And it may very well be fun and not good. I don't think... Watch my dance. We've got a taiko drum tower here in this level. That's interesting. I think people mistake fun as meaning something must be good. Whereas, no, I fully acknowledge a lot of my favorite games and movies are not very good, but they're very fun. Oh. Oh. This is incredible. They just said, watch my dance, and they've started dancing to what sounds like a traditional Japanese tune. This is fantastic. They weren't even enemies. They just wanted me to watch them dance. Now I want to dance. This game is sublimely weird. And it's like that has no thematic relevance to the rest of the level at all. You know, we've got what looks like, you know, a Loch Ness monster. We've got sharks with big fins and tiny bodies. Catch my javelin. Oh, this guy looks scary. Guy actually looks kind of like a giant mecha. He is a giant mecha. Do I need to reflect his javelin? Oh god, they're fast. They're very fast. Okay, this one is a boss. Oh, can I? Nope, I can't pull off a real gamer moment where I one HP power my way through. Okay, but now having a better idea of what to expect in this level, I think I should be able to make some progress. No, I was originally planning to only spend about 2 hours per game tonight, but now I really want to see if I can clear this game. I'm more than halfway through now. Oh, if there's details that make the cars look like real toys, that's the kind of thing I love. Dr. De La Plaga. More frightening than Javelin from Suicide Squad. Okay, we get a nice dance sequence here. This is spectacular. Class, if you have the patience, let's say, for an older, you know, maybe somewhat janky game, I can't recommend this enough. Because it's so weird. You know, and if you, like me, assign a positive value to weirdness in your games, you can't do much better on NES than this. Though the next game I plan on putting in, Fester's Quest, is also way up there for weirdness quotient. Okay, so we've got to get this guy, get him good. So let's, like most bosses in this game, the best strategy seems to be to just rush in and mash the bat. Yep, that worked. That worked great. I didn't take that much damage. Oh, I have the key to leave the level already. That must mean the rest of the level's going to be challenging in some way. I don't want to try to platform over this Leopleurodon-looking guy, so I'm just gonna... Or Plesiosaur, that's the one I'm thinking of. Leopleurodon was more like a big seal. I'm just going to very tediously beat him until he's done. Oh, how to fix. You have no idea, depending on when you came in. The very first stage of this game, first, the story begins with you, Mark, this boy with a bat, coming home from baseball practice. A shooting star falls down to Earth. It wasn't a shooting star, it was an alien named Bert, who immediately says, "I need your help to kill the evil monsters on my home planet. Please come help me." And then Mark says, "This isn't a weapon, this is a bat." And he's like, "That's fine, come on." So you're whisked away to another world where in the first level, things go from a bizarre pastel nightmare featuring human legs sprouting up from the ground and Japanese bancho-looking gangsters to you cross a threshold in the level and the entire world turns into blood and skulls and a nightmare like that. Oh god, I'm going to die in the water. There we go. Oh god. Big fin tiny shark is my favorite enemy in any game ever, by the way. I think you're right, Kamiyana, where this kind of humor is prescient. Oh, 5 frames? That's 2 frames to fix. Take a look. You've got the wind-up? Hold on. Can I pause on the wind-up? Yep, you've got the wind-up frame and the delivery. That's it. 2 frames. But there's weird physics behind everything. So I am also playing, I want to point out, on real hardware. You know, this is my childhood NES. We're capturing over composite in, which is why the signal looks so bad. You know, this isn't a filter I've put over an emulator, this is just genuine capture. Wild Faye, welcome Raiders. Monster Kisser raid. Well, Faye, you have chosen the right game to look at if you want to kiss monsters, because I've got a wide assortment of monsters for you right here in Monster Party. Welcome, Raiders. If you've not been here before, my name is Professor Bloom. I am currently wearing my Halloween costume, which, if you can't tell, is the Phantom of the Opera. And we are playing Monster Party for the original Nintendo. I have my childhood NES hooked up. Hey, No Socks, welcome. But this is capture from real hardware. This game frightened me dearly as a child. Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can... Yes, I can. So I've just transformed into a monster. I am now Bert, who can fly and shoot a projectile. I'm gonna avoid all of this because all I need to do now is get to the ending door of the level. I have enough keys to leave. Okay, I think that's the exit door. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the password. So this game scared me greatly as a child, because look at this password screen. It's skeletons and blood everywhere. I don't know how this got past, Nintendo of America back in the day. So before I continue to the next level, that is scary. Imagine you're 4 years old and you see this. So I'm going to reset the game to show you, one, look at that title screen. Those big jaws, bloodshot eyes. All right, Faye, but you're gonna have to rank the monsters walking by. You've got tempura shrimp there. That's pretty kissable. You've got an onion ring. I don't know the Japanese name for that. I only know the Korean name for that. You've got a Medusa there. By Medusa, I mean snake with hair. You've got, a Venus flytrap, clearly Audrey 2. A big spider, a big Minotaur man. Can't emote. So, the story of this game, Mark was walking home from a ball game. He looked up and saw a bright star. 10,000 out of 10, 100,000 out of 10. The star got bigger and bigger. So basically, you're a kid walking home from a baseball game. An alien crashes down to Earth in front of you. He didn't notice the star fell and landed right in front of him. This kid's kind of dumb. It wasn't a star, but a monster. Mark quickly asked, "Who are you?" "I'm Bert." Also, the alien's just named Bert. I don't know, Bert seems like a pretty high-tier monster husbando design. What do you think, Faye? Right? Bert looking kind of hot, though. So he's looking for help. Evil monsters are out of control on his home planet. Basically, Bert goes ahead and abducts this child they can fuse to switch back and forth between them. Also, Faye, you were playing Monster Kisser, or what were you playing? Moon Hunters, not Monster Kissers. It's like, with your weapon, you can destroy them easily. This isn't a weapon, it's a bat. And he's like, that's fine. Basically, this alien crashed down to Earth, abducted the first child he saw, and then just, fucked off to outer space. Look at that, round one start screen. Imagine, okay, so rewind. Imagine you're about 4 years old, and you pop this game into your Nintendo, and this is what you see. Skeletons in a agonized pose in a pool of blood, and then the first level looks like this. You've got what I clearly didn't know at the time were like Japanese bancho looking guys, with their big pompadours and their outfits. You've got human legs sprouting out of the ground. You go into the first room and you've got what's clearly Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Like, hello, baby. You know, feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. You can do it. Yeah, exactly, Dr. De La Plaga. You've got Little Shop of Horrors here. You can bat his things back at him with the baseball bat, but the best strategy is to just get in there and mash the hell out of the B button until you kill him. So this is still the normal part of the game, I want to emphasize. Because halfway through this level, it goes from weird to nightmare. Yes, those are legs. Naked legs sprouting out of the ground for no clear reason. Some rooms you go into, and they're empty, but they're filled with, like, blood vessels. Everything in this game's upsetting and weird. Like, even the random blocks in the levels are these smiley faces. You know, nothing makes sense. And just wait until we cross... You're going to see a big tree that kind of looks like a cactuar from Final Fantasy. We're going to cross the threshold there. Oh, wait. Here's the other room that has stayed with me ever since I was a kid. Sorry, I'm dead. Also, what kind of creature do you think that is saying, sorry, I'm dead? Because as a kid, I always thought it was like the rotting carapace of a big crab monster. But Teddy Deadrat pointed out tonight that it's probably a T-Rex. And now I can see it. Yeah, sorry, I'm dead. Understandable. Have a nice day. I can see it now, but it's hard to deprogram 30 years of thinking... Yeah, it looks like a bird fetus. Yeah, Lynchian. Very much. I'm just thinking of that, like, you know, David Lynch saying, you know, believe it or not, Eraserhead is my most spiritual film. Can you elaborate on that? No. You know, Lynchian might be a good adjective for this game. Okay, so you see this big shrubbery, this big topiary. Wait until so we're gonna cross the threshold, and the game's gonna go from weird to nightmare. And now I want you to try to remember anything from when you were 4 or 5 years old, or a video game you may have played at that time, or a movie you might have seen at that time. And think of the outsized impact that has on your tiny child's brain. Because, for example, I can remember clearly the first time I saw Ghostbusters. I was probably about 5 years old. I was probably too young to see it, but it was, you know, a night my parents had rented a movie for themselves to watch. And my older brother, who would have been 11 at the time. So, you know, I'm just on the couch watching. And Ghostbusters, for the most part, you know, is funny, fun, harmless. Until you get to the part where, you know, Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana, is possessed by Zool. And, you know, that's kind of scary. And when she turns and looks at Bill Murray and says, "There is no Dana, only Zool," that was like burned into my brain as a child. Also, I learned as an adult that I can just do that with my voice, which is pretty cool. But, so, this game had a similar impact on me. I know I'm hyping it up, but just watch what happens when I cross this threshold. Lightning strikes, and the happy smiling faces become bleeding skulls. There's severed heads cackling and leaking blood everywhere. There's human-faced dogs running around. The music becomes scary and tense. How the hell did this get past Nintendo of America in 1989? Welcome to Silent Hill, indeed. You've got eyeballs walking on brain stems. Yeah, right? Thanks for the nightmares, Nintendo. This was Bandai, I think, published this game. Then you go to the next boss monster, and it's a jack-o'-lantern-headed, you know, guy in a little sheet saying, "Please don't pick on me." How am I supposed to feel about that? I'm immediately going to pick on him. I'm immediately going to do violence to him with a baseball bat. Like a no-good delinquent kid on, you know, mischief night. Yeah, they must not have finished the first level. Also, when you die, you're just dead. And it's game over and you go to that blood screen. Only it's got this jaunty little tune. So it's a very, very weird game. And actually, I am farther into it tonight than I have ever been at any point in my life. Because when I was a kid, if I was getting frustrated by a game, I would just stop playing it and play a different game. You know, like a better game. If I put in something like this and was getting mad at it, I'd just, you know, put in like Mario Bros. 3 or Punch-Out or something fun. I've escaped the nightmare. Only for now. We're going back in. We're going back to level 6. Because I think there's 8 levels in the game, so we're getting close to the end. And the levels have been getting shorter, it feels like. There we go, round 6 start. I have a notebook in front of me where I've been writing down the passwords. Oh god. This is a spooky room. Oh, is this a haunt? Oh god. Oh, it's gonna be one of these levels, isn't it? So class, I don't know how many of you are familiar with old Nintendo games. Okay, that's just pants. Why is the enemy pants? Why am I fighting pants? So this looks like the kind of level where we're going to be warping from place to place by all these doorways. I don't know how many of you are like in Jimmy Neutron, yes. This is clearly a haunted house level. I don't know how many of you have played a lot of old NES games, but many of them were filled with these kinds of, you know, very circuitous puzzle-like levels, full of tons and tons of, you know, secret passageways, and this was the kind of level that you needed to be subscribed to, like, Nintendo Power Magazine to be able to clear. Anything scarier than pants wearing t-shirts. Oh god. At least the pants die in one reflected hit. Oh god, that chair is about to ruin my day. So, I don't know if I'm projecting an air of confidence, but I have no idea where I am supposed to go or what I am supposed to do. This level's awful. Oh, I can't even kill the chair. I have to run away from the evil chair. And there's something that keeps... Oh god. Class, would you think poorly of me if I looked up a guide to clear this level? Oh wait, I can kill the chair, or the table. Exactly, don't let anyone force you to wear pants. You know, I can live with you thinking less of me. This is terrible. Oh my god, I think this is the start. It's impossible to tell even where you've been. So, this kind of game design, you know, I understand why that would have been... Oh, I won't think less of myself, Two-Fix. Draw a map in my notebook. That's what I would have done as a kid. Actually, I don't know if you were here for it. I was telling a little anecdote about the original Legend of Zelda, which is my favorite game of all time, just period. That game, the manual, came with a partially completed map of Hyrule. And... Oh, thank you for stopping by, No Socks. I will absolutely have a fun stream. I'm just gonna keep playing games for as long as I can tonight. So I'm good for at least another 3-4 hours. So sleep tight, enjoy your night. Oh, am I getting somewhere in this level? Doubtful. Oh, this level's bad. Game was pretty fun up to this point. Well, I just got killed by pants. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and look up a map for this. Hold on. Okay. Game FAQs, game facts coming to save the day. Oh god, this map's no less... Okay, each letter represents a door. Going through a door will take you to the other door with the same letter. Okay. Okay, I think I understand this map. Okay, you know it's bad when even cheating won't make it easier. Hold on, I gotta plan out a route here. The game facts page is just a bloody skull screaming at you. It may as well be, for all the good this map is doing me. Trying to see what the best route through this is. So there's one boss door in this level where you get the key to go to the exit. So I'm trying to like reverse engineer my way through the level based on that. And it's not easy. Okay. I think I've got it. Okay. So if I go here, I'll go up to the top left. There we go. Hey, Glimmy Cat, great to see you. So I am currently 3/4 of the way through the game Monster Party for the original Nintendo. I have my original Nintendo hooked up. We're playing on real hardware tonight. And this level is a terrible, terrible maze. So, so that's fun. It's going all right though. It's going all right. Whoops. Pulled up myself twice. Oh, no, we didn't, Faye. The true ending of Little Shop of Horrors is so much better than the more common ending, let's say. Just because it's not every day that you get the bad guy winning. Have you seen the reconstruction they've made of that ending? Because they filmed that whole thing. The sequence to film that in the movie cost something like $5 million. I think it's gone down in history as the most expensive cut scene in a film ever. Whoops, I keep getting myself yeah, it's absolutely wild that it got cut. Well, test audiences hated it, apparently, which I'm not surprised by. You know, it's a feel bad ending. Hold on one sec. Yeah, it's a feel bad ending, I would say. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. Hold on. I was trying to send a gift sub to Glimmy Cat because she drew my PNG and I'm very, very grateful for it. Though Based Bug, you made my channel trailer. You deserve one as well. Hold on. Hold on. Why is it not letting me send the thing? Sorry, I'm having trouble doing this. I'm bad at using Twitch. Test audiences are foolish, I would say. Like 99% of the time. They very rarely have good feedback. Sorry, hold on 1 second. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Not that you don't deserve one, Based Bug. You absolutely do. Yeah, but do look up the scrapped ending to Little Shop of Horrors if you are so inclined. Accidental but very based. You're very based. You made that incredible channel trailer. Yeah, you're welcome. No, thank you. Yeah, I've been using this PNG and I love it. Hold on, I need to consult where where I'm going in the level. Level is very, very confusing. And I have pulled up a map because I am not ashamed to cheat. Oh yeah, pants are an enemy in this level. Yeah, no, up to this point in the game, Faye, there hadn't been any, like, devious puzzle levels like this, just, you know, difficult platforming action, which I'm fine with. This is a haunted house level, though, so your enemies are all things like pants. Yeah, pulling out the map is valid, Elliot. Also, good to see you. Oh, wait. Where'd that drop me? It's getting confusing, but we are 3/4 of the way through the game now, and that's farther than I ever got as a kid. And this is, you know, the cartridge that I've had for 30 plus years now on my childhood NES. Okay, I think the boss door is the one right over here. No, it's not. Oh, I'm dead anyway. Even with the map, I am struggling. No, the NES can keep running forever, Faye. Also, I can't get over the amount of blood that's in this game. Paired with such a jaunty tune. So I know no one redeemed it, but I am pouring myself another drink. Yes, exactly, Dr. De La Plaga. Trusted opinions, not just random opinions. Like, how many of you know the movie, you know, Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story? No, funny comedy, Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. In the original ending of that movie, the underdog team, you know, led by Vince Vaughn, Alan Tudyk, other great characters, you know, the whole match of whether the underdogs beat, you know, the asshole, you know, reigning champions, led by Ben Stiller, who really, really hams it up as a really hateable, detestable, yes, and the old man Patches, you know, it's a really detestable guy. You know, they review the call, and, you know, Ben Stiller's foot was over the line, they're disqualified, the good guys win. In the original ending of the film, they review, nope, his foot was not over the line, the assholes won, it was a true underdog story, and that the underdog almost never wins. Test audiences hated it so much that they reshot the ending, and included the original ending as a bonus on the DVD. I think the original ending is hysterical. It's a horrible ending. It is, but it's very, yes, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Yeah, Rip Torn as that character. It is a horrible ending, but it's very, very funny in its own way. It would make you bust your sides. I mean, I think it's very funny. I don't think it's a good ending, but I think it would take huge balls as a studio to make that the ending to your film. And I would respect that ending a lot. I mean, it's a funny movie no matter which way you look at it. Sorry, hold on, I'm consulting my map here. Where does that take me? You would think that cheating would make this easier, but it has not. Okay, there we go. Dodge this chair. This is a cool haunted house level, I have to admit. You know, even though I'm mad at it, this is clever stuff. Okay. I gotta think carefully about where I'm going. Hold on. Okay. I feel like I should be embarrassed that even with a map I am having trouble here. Okay, to the right is the boss door. Yeah, right? It would be like, what the hell is this room? Yeah, it would be like having Ron Burgundy not show up on time for his son's recital in the sequel. Anchorman 2 is a movie that holds a special place in my heart because it is a bad movie and it knows it's not good. So it leans into being bad and keeps pushing the jokes so much further than they have any right to go that it horseshoes around from being unfunny to being funny. If that makes any sense, like they keep telling the same jokes so many times that it eventually becomes funny, which I realize doesn't make sense. I'm thinking of like when he goes to, you know, the fried chicken place that David Kirshner character runs. Yes, this'll get him eventually. You know, it's like, you know, champ, I've been meaning to ask you, this isn't chicken, is it? And he holds up what's clearly a fried bat. He's like, oh, you know, you can't make a profit selling real chicken. And he's like, I'm pretty sure you can. He's like, chicken of the cave, that's what they call it. He's like, nope, no one has ever called it that, champ. And he just keeps saying chicken of the cave. And it makes me just lose my mind laughing every single time now. Also, when the first Anchorman came out, this was before the modern era of internet memes, and all we had was just quoting Anchorman at each other. So like my older brother, he's 6 years older than me. So when Anchorman came out, you know, we both saw it. And we had to. So both, he's a musician as well. And you know, in the middle of the first Anchorman, yes, and Monty Python and Tropa, of course. Though my dad introduced us to that. But when the first Anchorman came out, you know, and someone asks, I think it's Paul Rudd's character, you know, Brian Fantana asks, Ron, what's being in love like? Will Ferrell just kind of goes, well, it's kind of like, gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. And they bust into that like whole a cappella group section of the movie. My brother and I and some other friends learned that because, you know, what else were you going to do? It was 2004. And it still makes me laugh every single time. You know, hold on. Give me like 2 seconds. To fix, you're close. The Bloom Quartet origin story is actually watching The Music Man as a kid on a VHS borrowed from the town library and seeing, you know, the Buffalo Bills, who were one of the greatest quartets of all time, were in that movie as the school board, you know, and sing like, you know, it's you in the sunrise, it's you in my cup. And they, you know, turn into the whole quartet and get along and everyone's happy. That was my exposure to barbershop music. Blame that. Right? The newscast fights with all the other comedy actors. It's incredible. It's so funny. It shouldn't be funny, but it really, really is. Give me 2 seconds, class. You'll appreciate this, I promise. Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been, when it's right. Why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night? When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And you know the night is always gonna be there anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together makes the sparks ignite. And the thought of loving you is getting so excited. When... Oh, I forget how it goes from there. Hold on, I'm adding another part. My motto's always been, when it's right, it's right. Why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night? When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And you know the night is always gonna be there anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together makes the sparks ignite. And the thought of loving you is getting so excited. When I can't help but want to do that. Hold on. When everything's a little clearer in the light. That's all you'll get out of me tonight. And you know the night is always gonna be there anyway. It's that quick. If you ever want to try, recording your own multi-part music by yourself, absolutely give it a try. It literally takes as little time as you just heard. It's not intimidating or difficult. All right, let's go back to the nightmare game. What even is this background saying? Which one? Oh, Lord. This is awful. These are all faces, and only one is real. Okay, the one at the top is real. There it is. It's out of reach. Yeah, this is actually terrifying. I never got this far as a kid. Doesn't matter. I'm still alarmed. These are all... Like, forget Earthbound, having weird, frightening imagery in an NES, or Nintendo game, Super Nintendo. This is a nightmare. Oh god, which one is he? There he is. Oh god. Oh god. Back to the start. The way it blends is super neat. Like, I wouldn't say that this is a bad game. It's frustrating and obtuse, but I wouldn't say bad. Back to the maze. I think I know my way through now, Two-Fix, but we'll see. You died to a wall, nerd. Look, walls can be scary. It doesn't help that there's just these, like, bits of lightning that come down out of the sky to mess with you. Hold on, where's that? Where's that go? Okay. Let me not get fucked up by a chair. Right, your little bat self. Where's N? Take me. Okay, yeah, N takes me to O. I can go through O to get to Y. And that brings me to the boss room. Okay, so the boss room will be right up here. I don't think that damage is avoidable. Okay, here we go. Just says which one. Okay, I see which one now. And I'm the alien, so I can do more damage more quickly. Got it. Okay, I've got the key now, and I can leave. If I can get to the exit, we got to go back through the maze. Okay, hold on. I need to get to X. I just took Y. Where does Y bring me? Sorry, I gotta consult the map. To R. No, I want to get to X, so I need to get to either Z or 1. Sorry, I'm Bloom Gaming. We're getting real gamer hours. Look, this is farther than I ever got as a kid. You gotta bear with me here. I also gotta remember where I am in the map. If I go to W, go to WS. Okay. Wait. Okay. Wait, that's not... That's not right. That is a drink count, Faye. I've died a lot more than that. But we're on 7 cold ones. Some have been chugged, some have been just put gingerly into my drinking mug. Is it in my voice? I do feel like I'm a little more enthusiastic than I usually am, which is fair. Okay, that's why. I just got to find where I am. This is a very complicated level. Oh, then it's only 2 more levels though, and that's the whole game. I've never beaten this game before. Oh, thank you, Wise. Also, good to see you. Yeah, the TV, I tried to find the exact model of TV that used to live in my parents' basement, but I couldn't remember what the exact model of it was. I think it was some kind of Magnavox. But this was about the closest I could find. You know, it did have radial dials on it, but it was a color TV. And we are on capture from real NES hardware. Right? You were going to say Magnavox. Good. That means I chose a good overlay to use. Okay, so that was why to... So I am pretty stuck trying to find the way out of this level. Okay, I think I see where to go. Also, if you don't know, Wise, this is Monster Party for the original Nintendo. It's a super weird, super creepy kind of game. Oh god, don't let me die before I get to the exit door. Okay, so that'll drop me... Okay. And if I go through this door, this should be the exit to my right now. Yes, it is. Let me get through this door before I die, please, God. No! No! That was the exit door that I died right before being able to go through. I'm gonna take this as my opportunity to take a bathroom break. Please enjoy my Be Right Back screen. Based Bug, I will crack a cold one as soon as I get back. Do enjoy... So I showed you all the Sorry, I'm Dead room. Well, guess what my Be Right Back screen is? All right. Thank you for your patience, class. Also, Based Bug. I was going to say this is like pouring a cold one out for the homies, only I'm pouring it straight down my throat. So give me... Let me collect myself. Get into the chug state of mind. Hold see a small fly I'm going to try to catch before I start this chug. Nope, flew away. Alright, let's see. Oh wait, I've got to reset my counter. Let's add the one I'm doing now. Chug bug. Okay. There we go. Not bad if I say so myself. Let me mute and burp now. There we go. Try not to have the assuredly unsightly belch on stream. And now I need to to figure my way out back through this level. Oh. Why are pants an enemy? I know it's a haunted house, but like, why pants? I mean, it's funny, but... Also, I don't know if anyone had their timer ready, but that one felt pretty good. That might have been a sub 10. God, there's just unavoidable damage in this level. I should look up what speedruns of this game are like, because I'm sure they're insane. Anyone here who does anything speedrun related, mad props. I could never. Okay. Excuse me. Now I think I've got the pattern down. This should bring me to the boss room. Yes, it does. And the boss should be pretty easy to take care of as Bert here. It'd be a lot harder to take care of as Mark, the Bat Boy. Okay, now I need to get to the exit without taking all the damage in the world from the environmental hazards. Easier said than done. Okay. Sorry, I need to consult my map here. Okay, hold on. Where's this take me? Y to Y. Okay. P. Now I want to go to Q here. I can then go to T. Sorry, everything's labeled according to the alphabet in the little game FAQs thing I looked up. Where will this one take me? Nowhere helpful. Okay, I gotta get over that chair. Why does the chair move so fast? It's no fair. Okay, T drops me down. I want to go to 1. There's 1. Okay, now I need to get to the far left here. Chair got places to be too, I guess. Okay, I just need to go through this door. There we go! There we go. We did it. We only cheated blatantly. I mean, I guess it's cheating. Massive dubs, thank you. I don't know. What do you think, class? Is it cheating to look up a map for something that's that bullshit? That's that wildly unfair? I mean, if I was a kid with all the time in the world to map out every possible combination